defensive driving, really. Oh, he's going to get me there. Too good. Can we get back underneath? Lock. Slide job. What's up guys, Hobo88 here and welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing something seriously cool and something that's been overdue on this channel for as long as this channel's been a thing. My favourite game of all time, World of Outlaws 2002 by Ratbag Games. On the PlayStation 2, we're going to go ahead and start a career mode, guys. The nostalgia is real. I come back to this game every couple of years and just play it. I have rigged up a million different cables and cords to get this PS2 to work with my original copy of the game. We're capturing directly from that today, so we'll see how we go here, guys. Fingers crossed everything works well and looks good, sounds okay, whatnot, and yeah, let's get started. So career mode, we're going to go in here and start a brand new career straight off the bat. Loading data, got my memory card in there, and you will notice that I've already got a save in here, and it's this Joey Jojo, which I believe from memory, I can't remember now, but I think is like a cheat code to unlock all cars and tracks or something like that on the game in arcade mode. That's how you enter the cheat codes, I believe, for this game. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But we're going to go ahead and set up a new profile, and we're going to call ourselves, oh wow, this is going to take a while, isn't it? Because we've got to go through the entire alphabet. Let's go with just the shortest possible answer for this. Accept, and then our number, obviously, 88. All right. That's our career profile. I don't know whether or not you guys can hear it, but like even like the ambient sound, like we're set up in the garage here, obviously. Got the hauler over on the right hand side. We don't want to watch the tutorial, do we? We're not going to do that. We've done this enough times. It sounds like I can hear someone on the phone in the office. People clanking around with tools, all sorts of stuff. It's just seriously cool, guys. And this was so ahead of its time for what we wanted from a Speedway game back when this was released in 2002. Well, this game is 22 years old now. Going 23 years old. It's incredible. So we've got the office area, which is where we select our events and sponsors and things like that. We've got our garage or our car, our hauler, which is where we buy, sell, upgrade, and select what cars we want and things like that. Now, obviously, when we start this out, we will be going with a very budget car, starting with some of the local events in cars that are not very powerful. Kind of like you would as a real-life driver, which is what I loved about it. Our goal here in this series is to get to World of Outlaws Champion over however many videos that takes. So I'll keep an eye on the clock. We're going to do probably around about 1 hour episodes, and we'll just work through it, guys. We'll see how far we get. All right, first things first, we need to buy a car. So you got the laptop. Is that, no, it's not. It's a toolbox, which is what we select to buy the cars. And then over here, we've got to repair the damage and whatnot. And then this is to get to the next race. Obviously, we haven't got to that yet. So let's first things first, buy ourselves our very first car. Now, I always had a way of going through exactly the order of what I wanted everything to be done. But I can't remember. I can't remember it all. And I have to apologize too. The brightness seems to be really low. I don't know why that is. That's something to do with my capture. Alright, so the model to start with, it was always, where do you start? So ultimately you want to get all the way to the Maxim chassis. That's the one you want, but that car costs $66,000 and we're starting with $12,000. So you got two cars that you can't afford straight off the bat. The Bueller, which is the cheapest car at $9,000. You can see its speed and power are slightly lower. Its handling assist is really, really high. We don't want any handling assist if we can help that. So I always go straight to the Creek, which is the second model up. It costs an extra $1,000, but we can afford it, and that's always my preference. And then we're going to go through and pick a skin for our car. I haven't looked at these in years, so let's just go through and see what they all look like. And again, I apologise, it's a little bit dark, it's a little bit hard to tell. I always use this car, and we're going to do that for this one because for me, this car reminded me of Max Dumsney's car. For those who are Australian, you'll know who I'm talking about. Most Americans, you probably have no clue. But Valvoline car, and this was the one that most represented that. So I always went with this more often than not. And we're going to do it here just for a bit of nostalgia's sake for me. So we're going to buy the car, $10,000, and then we're going to go up and to the upgrades. And if you look, you can see that there are some upgrades that you can make to the car straight away. But the risk with this is if you damage the car, that you haven't got any way of then paying to fix it. So what I tend to do with my upgrade path here is try and avoid the mid-step upgrades if I can, and try and race my way to a point where I could just buy the more expensive upgrades straight off the bat. So let's go ahead and we might go straight to the 2.5-inch fuel injectors. $1,500. We'll buy that straight away. I'm not going to worry about the brake rotors because who needs brakes? Now the other option you got here is you can sell your cars as well. But as you know, we paid about $10,000 for this car, I think it was, and we've already spent a couple of grand on upgrades. You can only sell it for $3,600, so not getting your value there. All right, we've now got a car. It should appear in our hauler. There it is. Next thing we need to do is we need to go and select our event that we're going to do first. So we'll go back to the office in our little garage here. We'll have a look in here at the different options. So you can view your trophies. So far, none. The goal will be eventually to try and fill that cabinet with every trophy you can get, but the main goal for this series will just be to become World of Outlaws champion. So view or enter a practice session on any of the tracks you can travel to. So you could do a practice session if we want. We're not going to do that. You can select an event. So if we go here, you'll see that it's a calendar essentially that's broken down into week by week. So it says here it's a diary. Use the diary to enter races in career mode, select the event you want to enter, and select it again to cancel. You can only enter one event per week, which makes sense, and the paperclip indicates the current week. So if we go across, it says here we can earn more money to afford to travel to further tracks, access all the tracks in a series when your career earnings reach these amounts. So there's a different, it's basically your travel budget allows you to make further races. So to be a World of Outlaws driver, you need to be able to get to World of Outlaws series, which means we need to make a total career earnings of $75,000. But for starters, we are just a local series, and that's all we're going to be able to do, which means we can only pick from one or two little tracks that are close to our home base, and we'll look at that in a minute. Helpful hints, I'm not going to read through that. We'll go through it. I think I'm explaining everything as we go. So, straight off the bat, week number 1 in the diary, week 1, 2002. And you can see we've got the option of Lernerville is a local series, it's marked as local, or Vegas for a track championship, which is marked as a World of Outlaws event. Obviously we can't do that, it's crossed out because we cannot travel that distance to get to that race. So we're going to go to Lernerville for round number 1, week number 1. You'll also notice how this one's marked as a track championship. You'll see that there's a little trophy underneath the cross there that identifies it as a track championship race. If you win that race, you get a trophy for your cabinet. So we can't do that at the minute. We're going to start with Lernerville for week number 1. So we'll go back, that's now selected. Means when we go race, that's where it will take us to. The other thing that we're going to have a look at real quick here is our computer. High-tech stuff, guys. We are going to have a look here at any sponsors, and understandably, because we have not done any races yet, we have no sponsor offers. So a sponsor will offer you a certain amount of money per week to race with their sponsor on the car. A higher paying sponsor will usually ask for a higher amount of weeks that you are dedicated to that sponsor, so you can't change it. I'll explain it as it goes on, but obviously that money in the pocket helps you to upgrade your car and repair any damage you might get. So we'll exit, we don't have anything there at the minute. We'll go across to the go race, checkered flag, and it will take us off to round number 1, our first race ever, Lernerville.
Lernerville Speedway in Sarver, Pennsylvania, home of the Don Martin Memorial Silver Cup and another fast-paced oval.
A very young Johnny Gibson on the audio there. Alright, so we're going to obviously continue. We're not going to skip it. We're going to continue and go to this race. So this is our race format, race night. We have practice, qualifying, heat races, dashes, B mains, A mains, and so on and so forth. We can choose to race, we can choose to tune the car in the garage, we can skip this particular part of the night, we can retire from that part of the night, or we can repair damage on our car. We'll go in and tune. I'll just show you guys what the options are here. I mean, I don't think I hardly ever change this stuff much. I used to actually have a notepad that would have every track, every setup that I wanted, and I'd be able to go through and change it all. The one thing we probably should change is the quick change, but I can't remember what ratio we should have in the car for what tracks, and especially this one being a low-powered car. So increase the drive ratio for shorter tracks, decrease for the longer tracks. This is a fairly long track, but we've got a pretty non-powerful car. I think I might just go up to a 540 here and practice and we'll test it. But there's a heap of different things you can change, like your wing angle, your position, all that sort of stuff, and you can adjust that in the car as well. Your shock types, your ride heights, right rear spacings, and obviously your weight jacking as well here. I mean, I spent so much time with this game in the years that I knew what everything did, but I mean, the obvious stuff is obvious, but I can't remember exactly how the cars are affected, and we'll just leave it as pretty well based for the minute. Now you'll notice once I've been in and made changes and saved them, take us back and... Oh no, it does let me go. I thought it wouldn't let me go back in. Oh, that might be the repairs. I think once you've made your repairs, you can't then go back and make more repairs. But let's go out on track. Let's do it. The car's going to be super slow. It's obviously not a very fast car, and it hasn't got any upgrades on it yet, so it will be slow. We're going to struggle to be able to be competitive, which is how this is meant to be, I think. That's the idea. We'll just try and get the best results that we can get. I just realised that all my HUDs are all turned off, which is how I always used to prefer this game. They're probably going to drive you guys nuts. I'll have to see if I can remember how to turn all them back on. I find it really awkward, first and foremost, that we are using the old PlayStation 2 controller with the wire and everything. I'm a D-pad controller guy for this game. I've never been able to use the sticks for steering. Of course, that's very different nowadays, but old habits die hard when you're playing a retro game like this. So on the D-pad, and I always used to play this game in chase cam, like you can see on screen right now. Never in the onboard. Never ever raced in the onboard camera. But just before we cross the line, I'm going to pause. I don't have any options to change any of my settings for what's visible on screen, so we'll have to just see about that. We might have to do that when we get back to the garage, our hauler. But that's the practice session. I mean, gearing felt okay. Without a tacho on screen, it's a little bit hard to tell exactly how that is. Yeah, I don't have any options for changing my graphics settings here at the minute, so we'll wait. We'll have a quick look at the damage. Like, you can hurt the motor if you're revving too hard. We weren't there, but you can hurt the motor. But you can see here the damage cost will accumulate over on the right hand side if you do damage things. So obviously if you crash and flip, your wings get damaged and things like that. But the right rear will be the one that probably gets damaged more often than not, and that'll be from contact with the walls and other cars. You have to have a pretty big crash to hurt the other parts of the car, like the chassis and stuff, but the engine will get damage if you rev it too hard, which is something that's pretty easy to do when you've got an underpowered car. So we finished with our repair, and now I think that will be greyed out. Yeah, so you see we can't go back now and make more repairs to the car now that we've made that. So anyway, qualifying. Let's go out and see where we stack up. Hopefully get somewhere near the top 10, but I really don't know. I'm not sure where we're going to stack up here against everybody else. But we'll give it our best shot. See what happens. There are ways to play this game on PC and stuff like that with emulators and things like that, and those will have much better quality graphics and like much crisper edges and all the lines and all that sort of stuff. I kind of like the charm of the old PS2 version of the game though. You know, it's very grainy and kind of rough around the edges, but it means that the like the flaws and all that sort of stuff are kind of not that they're less obvious, you know, like. Let's see how that stacked. So they weren't great laps there, but we'll see what that does for us. Hopefully we're not too far away. 4th, that's pretty good. Can we get a podium in our first race maybe? That would be pretty good. We're not, wow, we're right on 3rd, aren't we? Brian Cooper, we have the same time. Those two guys up at the front, they are a little bit further away, so. Heat number 2, well, the way the World of Outlaws format worked back in these days is, well, in this game, 2 rounds of heats, so you're in either the first or second heat. And your starting position depends on where you qualify. So we'll be out of position number 2 in heat number 2. Oh, actually, I can't remember if there's an invert. We'll find out. It's been that long since I played it. I can't remember. But, yeah, heat number 2. And we start off the outside of the front row. So, yeah, no invert. I can't remember. Top 4, I think, go through. Maybe top 6. Can't remember. See that leader's just gapping us. And there's nothing we can do about it. We don't have the power. That line, not great to turn number 1. Got some lap traffic here straight away. White flag. So as you get to like the World of Outlaws races, the higher profile events and stuff, your lap counts go up as well. So for these local races, they're all fairly short. But once you get to the bigger races, the lap counts go up and things like that too. So I kind of like that it works like that. Like it does add a little bit more emphasis to the bigger events as you go, as opposed to just keeping them all really short or all really long. So that's right. What we expected there, run second. The feature race should be interesting. So we got the dash, and you can see our lap time in practice and I didn't realise before, practice and qualifying was identical. Let's just quickly check. No damage, so that's good. We don't have a budget right now for forward damage, that's the trick. So we really want to try and keep ourselves out of trouble. We don't want to tear anything up because we got no money there to fix it if we do break something. So that's something we got to be really mindful of. Our dash, we're going to start from P4, which is where we qualified, and the race should be for P3 here. We're very evenly matched in qualifying, so... Oh no! Contact! Don't know that would have been hard enough to cause any damage, but we'll find out. And then how cool is this? Tear-offs! I mean, for a game of this age, to require tear-offs, that's just super cool. Oh! Huge bomb! Who was that? So evidently racing for third is probably not going to be an option for us. It's going to be seeing if we can hang on to fourth. So I don't know that we'll be able to steal a podium on our first race, but we'll see how we go. We hang on to fourth. That's the first goal there that we need to get done. And we'll see whether or not we got any damage from the contact there. Is crossed. We did not. I think we ran out like $50 in the bank or something, wasn't it? Or was it 500? I can't remember. Nope, no damage. That's good. Probably a little bit lucky there. It's a little bit lucky. And I think I might go into the tuning and I might just try and give us a little bit more gear. I don't think we're going close to topping out there, so... Oh, actually, I forgot. That hasn't actually changed with each... Yeah, I forgot about that. So you actually have to come in after every single event and tell it to use the same as what you used last time. Otherwise it resets. So we'll have to remember that. That's one thing that I had forgotten. I didn't look. I don't know if it showed us how many laps this was, but I don't have a lap counter on screen anyway, so I'm not going to be able to keep tabs on that. I've always been about immersion for me. It was having nothing on screen and all that sort of stuff, like it was as realistic as it could be. Just like I have these days on Sims wherever I can. But for the sake of what we're doing here as a YouTube series, we probably want to turn all that stuff back on. Oh, we got squished in the middle. Roll the bottom. Actually much more competitive here in the A main so far. I'd really love to get a podium in our first race. Oh, the challenge is on. Whoa, nearly got into the outside wall there. I think I heard the car behind me get it. About to get into lap traffic. That was one of the other really cool things about this game was how the track would develop across the night. So you can see it's a lot slicker and not very heavy like it was at the start. I mean, it doesn't change during the race, but the fact that each race during the night is different is very cool. We'll try and not get hung up on traffic here. Oh, we did get a bit hung up. He went for a move and I wasn't ready for that. We didn't get held up, I don't think. That's really the main thing. You can get yellow flags if cars spin, and if you come to a stop, you will stall. So we'll bring out a yellow. That's another cool thing about this game. I've got no idea how many laps there are. Hopefully we're nearly there. We're still hanging on to that podium at the minute. Ooh, just got the wall there, you heard it. Does a very arcade video game thing where if you hit the wall it'll slow you down. Make the car bog down a bit for half a lap. We didn't really hit it hard enough there for it to happen, but it can happen. It does. White flag. Oh, what is this guy doing? Almost caused us a drama. And hang on for P3. Oh, yeah. Podium in our first race. Oh, all the sponsors are going to want to come and be on our car. Oh, it's so good, guys. I can't believe that after 20 plus years, this is still the game that I think is the most fun for dirt racing. There we are in P3. We won 900 bucks. Save progress, yes. How far into this video? 25 minutes. We've got heaps of time. You've got a new sponsor offer. Let's have a look. Who wants to be our sponsor? Zora Racing. Oh, Zora Racing. Zora Racing. For 2 events at 400 bucks a race. It's the only one at the minute, so I think it's good value. We'll get 400 bucks for the next race just for driving. There is no obligation, like sponsor obligation, like you see in a lot of new titles where you have to finish in the top 3 or something to get a bonus or any of that sort of stuff. It's just, it is what it is. Rain, hail or shine, 400 bucks for turning up. So it's good when we won 900 for finishing 3rd, so nearly half of that just for turning up, which is good value as far as I'm concerned. Let's have a look at the diary and see what we've got for the next round. So you can see here, week number 2, we don't have any of the races available to us because of our location and our travel allowance at this stage. We haven't earned enough money yet to be able to unlock the regional area of races. So Bloomington for the minute is off. We can't get that far. I-55 for the track championship with the Outlaw supports, and then the World of Outlaws at Lowe's. So we'll have to skip week 2. No racing this week. That's a shame. But then week 3, this is where it's interesting. We can travel to Williams Grove to race for a $5,000 to win World of Outlaws support class. So it's, I mean, the equivalent's probably like Outlaws and then maybe like All-Stars for the World of Outlaws support level, and then probably like a 360 series, like the old, was it an ASCS series or whatever it was, is the 360 series. Would be like the regional series, and then the local series would be like 305s or something like that, if you kind of imagine it that way. So we can go to Williams Grove and race here, and we will. However, the World of Outlaws support series has got much tougher competition, so suddenly we go from racing for a podium in a local race to trying to even make the A main here in a World of Outlaws support race. So when we get further down the diary in weeks to come, we get to the Outlaws race at Williams Grove, for example, we will be able to enter that race, but in our very budget car. So I think that's really cool that you can just sort of only travel so far away from your home base to race. And if you've got a big show coming into town, you can turn up and race there, but you know, you've only got the equipment of a small team. So I reckon that's a really cool touch. So we're going to Williams Grove next, but that's going to be a tough ask for us in our car to do well there. Let's go back and have a look at whether or not we can afford any other upgrades or if we've got any damage to repair. I'll head back over here. Our balance of $1,400. Now again, it's important not to spend all of that, because if you do that, you won't have any money for repairs if you break something. And by break something, I mean like blow a motor or something like that, and then you can't race and you can't fix it, and then you got to sell your car, and if you can't get enough money back to buy a new one, then you sort of like end up, that's it, you can't keep going, that's it. Alright, so that's cool. We can't really, we don't have any repairs to do, so we'll have a look at our upgrades now and see if there's any upgrades we can make. We go across to the upgrades, so we've already got the fuel injectors installed. The weight reduction would be a good one to do, but again, I don't really want to spend $1,000 on this. I'd rather save the cash and get to the 3,000 for that. The engine's the other one, an 800 horsepower engine. The handling, this one's also good. I mean, we can put the brake rotors on it, but I didn't even use the brakes in that last race. I probably should have a couple of times, but I didn't. I'm not going to spend the money there. I'm just going to wait until we can afford probably the weight reduction. So let's just go back and we'll take our little budget racer and stack it up at Williams Grove and see how we go.
Grove Speedway in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, home of the Pennsylvania Posse and some of the toughest local competition the Pennzoil World of Outlaws face.
Pennzoil World of Outlaws. Now this is a track where you can do some damage to your right rear because the walls, especially on the main straight, will come and get you. Long straights here, so we don't want to shorten up the drive ratio too much. But again, we got low power, so we might bump it up a little bit. I'll accept that, and we have to remember to come back and apply that again for each thing. We'll go out and do some practice and make sure that that feels okay. And there would be something to be said about going and tuning the car properly, putting all the right shock and weight jackers and all the stuff that you can do in there and actually get it set up correctly, but I'm not going to bother with it for the minute. It's certainly winding up in the RPM at the end of the straight. Forgot to go back and change the HUD, guys. I'm sorry. There's going to be someone in the comments. Turn on the HUD! I want to see how many laps are left. What position you're in. I will endeavour to try and fix that after this race. So, if you've made it this far into the video, tell me, are you a person who played this game? Or is this your first time ever seeing it? And if you have played it before, do you agree, is this the best? I think it's the best game of all time personally, but like the best racing or sprint car game, or what are your thoughts on it? Is it the best experience for you in any capacity, or doesn't really do much for you? I'm keen to know what you guys think. I mean, I don't know how many people I've heard say that it's their favourite game, but for me it is. Keen to see whether or not that's the same for you guys. Let's tune her up. Use previous. Accept. And I think from memory, if you do a lot of damage to the car, you can't fix it all in between events, like between like practice and qualifying, for example. I think like a time limit, it's not really stipulated the time limit, but it's like there is a time limit. You can't make all the repairs a certain amount of time, or maybe you can't make all the repairs in the back of the truck. You've got to take it back home to fix everything properly, sort of stuff. So sometimes you'll damage something, like you might hurt a motor, and then it continues to be hurt for the entire night, even though you keep throwing money at it, try and fix it. Alright, let's see where we stack up here, because like I said, tougher competition in this race. Oh, you hear Johnny Gibson looking for a big improvement in lap number 2. That's the telling thing. It means that we didn't do very good there on the first lap. Way too sideways there in turns 3 and 4 on the second lap. Well, that's going to be a slower lap. No good. See where we are. Let's have a look. We just want to make the A main really and try and make some money. 18th. We're right at the back there somewhere. Some work to do. We're going in tune. Now, we were a little slower there, so I didn't do the best I could have done just previous. Alright, here we go. Heat number 2. Starting from 9th, I'm assuming. I can't remember how many go through. Might be the top 8, top 6, top 4 to the dash, I think. Probably the top 8 go through to the straight to the A, top 4 to the dash. At the minute, we're in 9th, and I don't think that's enough. That would be a B main. Oh, it's tight, guys. Oh. Try and run the bottom down here in turn 1 and 2. Squeeze him up. Get out of the way. It's a tough pass, that one. I can hear him though. He's right there. Definitely don't want to give this spot up. Try and run the bottom there a little bit. Alright, P8. I think that'll be enough to get straight to the A. Let's see. We'll find out here in just a second. .64. No, it's a B main, so it's only the top 6 that go through. The rest have to go through the B. We were way faster though in that one than we were in qualifying. Tune. Let's go use the same as last again. I think that's working alright. And then we'll quickly check our repairs. Had a little bit of contact, but nothing bad, I don't think. And we're all good. Alright. B main, we're going to have to do it the hard way. I don't know how many go through, so if it's only the top 6, that's 12 cars. I don't know how many's in the feature. Is it 20 or 24? Could be 8 that go through here. I reckon 20 is a good number. Or maybe it's only 18. I really don't remember, guys. We might find out the hard way. But I think 6th where we start will be enough. We definitely want to make sure that we're in the A. Try and get some of that prize money. Now, lower power car might come to us a little bit here as the night goes on with the track getting slicker. Power becomes a little bit less important. Oh! A rude little bump. I hear crunching behind me. We have got a yellow, so there was a crash behind us there somewhere. Oh, it's pointing me at the fence for the restart. Close to the fence. We don't want to hit that. I feel like there's a couple of cars behind us that are quicker. Just trying desperately to hold them off. There's one of them. Block him. cover the inside. He's trying to push me around. No way. I hear a big thud behind me. He's got the outside wall. The exit of turn 2 there. Just trying to run the bottom because our car's not super powerful. Oh! Slid up the track. We'll try and drive back underneath. Squared him off. How many laps are left? It's a long B main. Like I said before though, we have gone up into... Oh, this car's got no top wing. It must have been the one that was in the shunt here before. But yeah, the races are longer as you move up the ranks, and because this was one of the World of Outlaws support series races, it means that the B main and the A main will be a lot longer. If only I had that hard turned on right. I can hear them, they're right there behind me. Oh, we got the wall. It's right there. Just got to keep protecting the inside. Very defensive driving, really. Oh, he's going to get me there. Too good. Let me get back underneath. Lock. Slide job. One more lap. This is just the B main, guys. Well, we definitely locked ourselves in with a P3, so it'll start us from 15th, I think, in the A main. But man, I'd love to go forwards from there. I can't see it happening. We did sort of crush the wall there a little bit. Better have a quick look and see about damage. Nope, we're all good. Alright, so 1685, we were a little bit slower. Did we remember to update our setup? Is that why we were slower, man? Can't remember. Use previous. We changed 540. Oh, let's sneak it up one more. See if we can't do that without hurting the motor. Might help us just a little bit with a bit better drive off the corner. Not so bogged down. Let's see. Find out very soon. Oh, how's the launch? There we go. We're away. We could use a couple of lucky cautions, maybe get some spots, but it's pretty rare that that happens. And yeah, you can see straight away we're just getting left behind. Oh, car up ahead hit the wall pretty hard. Gives us a chance. Try and sneak in here. Not quite close enough. Oh, they're in the wall again. What a ding-dong battle these guys are having for 12th, 13th and 14th. Snuck past one of them. Might actually get lapped in this race as well. Oh! I can't remember, I think we might be back to the position at the start of the racing now. Oh! Popped a big hit right there. Get out of the way. Served him back. He's clearly faster, but we can keep him behind. Might be able to defend it. We did for the B main, so try and do the same again right here. Oh! Look at this battle up ahead with 4 or 5 cars in it. Halfway. Fighting for all our life to hang on to this top 15. Every position counts when you're trying to make money. Still hear the guy right behind me, but he hasn't shown the nose yet. There he is. Oh, there's one around. We snuck through there. That was almost a massive crash. That is what we do not want. We do not want to be in a massive crash with a huge damage repair. It's a freebie. Oh, that's a bad run through that corner there though. Oh, the race is on. Oh, that's a leader. So we did get lapped. I'm sorry, leader, but there he goes, now he's through. There he is, he crossed the line just as we were coming to the white. So there you go, P14 in the end. I'm pretty happy with that. I reckon that's pretty good. Let's see whether or not $2,000 just from getting a P14. Wow. Save career progress, yes. We're not going to look at that at the minute because we can't do that at the minute anyway. And that is nearly an hour anyway, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the first episode of the series right here. I say first episode. If you want to see more of this, if you want to see more of this career mode playthrough, It would be a very, very long series if you guys wanted to watch it. So if you're interested in that and you'd like to see it, you better let me know. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments below if you want to see more of it. But I love it. I mean, I'll be playing through this regardless. It just depends whether or not you guys want to see it on the channel or not. So let me know if you want to see it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Hobo88, twitch.tv/Hobo88. Check out the live streams. Don't forget the Discord channel as well. Link is in the description below. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.